As part, and it's only the beginning, okay? We're only going to take care of this idea of the neighborhood. How do we can extract data from each neighborhood? So once we're in GIS, we can add data. I'm right-clicking there. And you're going to search for the neighborhood areas. It's a very, very simple shapefile that you have, that if you add it, you find the neighborhoods that you have in the entire New York City. Okay, Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, and Staten Island. Okay. So basically, you have to select one neighborhood from Bronx, another one from Manhattan, another one from Queens, another one from Staten Island. But they need to have niche, meaning public housing, predominantly public housing structures in their boundaries. Okay. So I'm not going to talk about that, but for now, what you can do is just know that you can select by clicking on the select feature and select one neighborhood in a very simple way, as you can see. If we right click on this one, we get to see the attribute table. And we can get the name, so that will be a way of putting a label and knowing more precisely what that, let me shorten this up. So for example, if you want to know the name of this neighborhood area, we can always right click here and open attribute table and scroll down until we see the blue like stripe here. Okay, so we know it's South Ozone Park, so that's how it's named. Is the county 81, it's in Queens, and is the identity number, it's actually 149, etc., etc. We have areas, so that could be information that you could use, but not much. As you can see, compared to the Pluto, this is almost nothing. But this could be a nice base to select other things that could be on top. How do we do that? Well, first of all, we'll be selecting. If we add here, add data, and we know that we have the NYCHA, is the public housing shapefile. No? So these are the ones that have public housing. So you can select based on these elements. These are probably like smaller units. You probably want to go to massing housing, as we've been dealing with. And you can identify, for example, here that you have several. This one could be an interesting one. And I'm talking only in this case. If I go and check what it is, we can easily see should be here, no? Oh, it was? Sorry, it goes so fast. It's Brownsville, for example. That's one, but again, you have other options. Just select one that is predominant needs oriented. Okay, it has a lot of public housing, and what I'm interested in is understanding what is happening in these neighborhoods, and if there's anything happening different from other neighborhoods within New York City. Okay, good. So this is a way to select, again, the neighborhoods that have public housing. Like in Manhattan, it could be this one, and yours might be there. If you're in Manhattan and yours is actually in this neighborhood, that's the one you have to select. Okay, so besides the one that your building is at, from the rest of the boroughs, you can select a bit more regarding of the number of public housing that you identify as numerous. Okay, so that's not much. What about adding more data? So this layer will allow us to select properly, but we can add any other layer. For example, let's go to the Pluto one that we've been using a lot of times, 2015. And let's go for now to Brooklyn, I don't know, or Bronx. I've never used Bronx. And Bronx is going to be turned on. Okay, so the question is, how do we select, for example, the buildings that are in our specific neighborhood? No? So let's imagine again, I turn on niche and I turn off Pluto, and let's imagine that this is the neighborhood I'm interested in, or this one here. Okay, Again, we can get the name, we can place a label, we can do many things with it to identify what it is and even what projects are located in it. But the question is, how do we start selecting a bit more smartly? So I need to select all the elements that are inside of that shapefile within Pluto. So that's when we use the selection by location. And we need to say select from. We need to select from the Pluto, the elements in Pluto that are inside of this selection. And then we're going to say, well, select within NYNTA, which is the element that is a shapefile on this neighborhood, and we want to say inside of. Let's see what options we have. But it says completely contain the source layer feature. If we say apply, in your computer it should be much faster. I think this computer is a bit slow. I don't know why. I wonder if it's not completely contained. Let me see. It didn't select anything. By location, we want features from Pluto. Yes, and let's see other options. Are within a distance. Intersect. Contain. I think this is the one. Let me see. Oh. Well, probably doing something wrong here. Features from. Are within the source layer. I think that's the one. Let me see if it works. So many options you can select. And that's obviously not correct, no? Yeah, I'll have to revise this again. Let me see if I try. Select by location. Oh no, it's not select. I'm going to try several of them. I'm not sure why it's not working, but it was working before. Source layer. I'm sure it's going to work the second I stop recording this. Anyway, it's not working for me. I'm probably doing something wrong, so I probably need to just double check something here for a second. But in general, what you will get, and I can just double check this, you will get a selection similar to this one. Let me see. Oh. And you will be able to get a layer out of it. So by right clicking, and you can go to selection, and you can create layer from the selection, and you can turn off the preview so you have only your selected elements. Now the question is, why is not working for me the idea of selection within the boundary? So I'm going to actually stop this recording and try to fix it by myself. Let me see.